Welcome back to the Power Public YouTube channel. Today we're going to be running you through some of the things to look for when you're buying a new or used go-kart. If you're following along at home and you love these videos, don't be scared to hit the subscribe button. So let's get to it. Okay, so we'll start at the back and work our way forward. When you buy a new kart, everything's new. The bearings are new, the grub screws are new, the brakes are new, and these things wear with time. They're not super expensive, but these little things do add up. So what you want to do is maybe double check, ask the person you're buying off, are the brake pads new, are the bearings new, and have a good visual inspection. Okay, so when you buy a second-hand kart, some of the things are a little bit harder to see, like how much wear the bearings have. Okay, you can look, maybe you can pull the wheel and just see if the axle's moving a little bit, if grub screws are missing, whether the axle is got a lot of detents in it from where the grub screws have bitten into the axle. Now you can actually get a stiffener bush here that slides in from the end of the axle, and that goes underneath the bearing on a 50mm kart, and that stops the crushing effect with the grub screws, because you've got to do them up tight or you risk the axle moving in the kart. Another thing is the brakes. The Tony Kart discs don't wear, but some of the other ones do a little bit. You can also check to see how much wear you have on the brakes. The brake pads will wear when you do get a new kart, if you get one second hand. Check the brake pads, do a brake bleed, because the brakes are so important to your performance on the track. If you've got crappy brakes and you're just you're going into the brake zone but they're not 100% effective, it's going to cost you time. So that's one thing we work a lot on with our drivers, is having our brakes working at 100% and using them 100% effectively, and that really shaves off a lot of time on the track. So another thing to look for is the fuel tank. Now they come out a white color, they will go yellow with time, so it might be an indicator to how old the kart is. Also on Tony Kart, this is the latest version. Some of the earlier versions, the 2012s, they have a different fuel tank with a center fill. They're not my favorite, let's just say that. These are a lot better addition. So when you get your car, maybe just get a new fuel line and filter. That'll get rid of a lot of problems. And if you've got a Rotax, you can change your fuel pump gaskets as well. And this will sort of shortcut any problems that are going to happen when you get to the track. Another thing to check is the rose joints here on the steering arms. These wear out with time. They get a little bit of grit in there and it's a little bit abrasive. So you can replace those. They just screw in and out. It's not a huge job, but then you'll have to do a wheel alignment. So a good way to check if your rose joints are too worn and need replacing is to get the wheels on the back side and just pull them in, or grab the fronts if you're standing in front of the cart and the cart is on the trolley, and just pull like this, and you can feel that the rose joints, if they've got a bit of movement, the wheels will move even though you're not moving the steering wheel, and that'll affect your wheel alignment a bit. If you do replace those, don't forget you must do a laser wheel alignment to get the kart perfect again. So one of the easy ways to see how much damage a kart has is on the bottom of the chassis rails. Obviously this one is brand new. Once they've used it a lot and it hasn't got any wear plates or skid plates, curb riders, whatever you want to call them. If you haven't screwed those on, every time you hit a curb or the kart bounces over some bumps and goes through corners and flexes, it's going to drag on the track a little bit, and it wears through the steel tube. This is not solid steel, it's tube steel. It's not very thick. And as you wear through it, so does the kart's flex rate. So that's critical. That's why people update chassis on the regular. So another thing that wears is on these assemblies here. We've got a square male on the chassis and a square female on the pedal assembly, and it's magnesium and this is steel. So this is going to wear over time. And you can grab the pedal from the top. You can't see that on this shot, and just wobble the pedal back and forth. And if it's excessive, it'll flog around a little bit. You can replace those though, so it's not the end of the world. But just bear it in mind when you're haggling for the price. So obviously tyres wear. You can buy brand new second-hand tyres, but they're generally not going to be very good, except for the true beginner that just needs to get some Ks. So check the tyres for wear. They're probably not going to be great, but also too, you can check your wheel bearings. Now to do that, you just spin them. They should spin freely and not make any noise, especially like a grinding noise. And also too, they shouldn't have any, if you pull on the wheel, it shouldn't rattle around on the stub axle. All Tony Kart rolling chassis come with an engine mount. The Tony Kart Racer series come with a magnesium engine mount. If you're buying a second-hand kart, you may want to check that this is included because it is expensive to replace otherwise. Now, when you're racing go-karts, there will be the odd occasion where the safety pods, side pods, nose cone, rear bar, they're all there for your safety, they're crash protection. Now you will have the odd on-track incident like most of us, and these get damaged. You can look for the side pod bars to have bent and kinks in them. Also to the plastics, they may be damaged. The nose cone especially, it sees the most action on the track, we'll call it. And when they are pushed in, they drag on the ground and rip holes in the bottoms. It's just little things, but they probably need replacing. Also too, the stickers, you can peel these off and put your own custom sticker kit on. The very popular Power Republic sticker kit, or you can go with the genuine replacement Tony Kart sticker kit. So there you have it, a beginner's guide to buying a new or used go-kart. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button. Go to our Instagram and Facebook at Power Republic, or go to our website www.powerrepublic.com.au. Grab yourself a t-shirt or a hoodie. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.